Center in Los Angeles. This is Kcal 9 News at 9.
Now at 9, stepping up the attacks 2 weeks before Election Day.
One of the candidates for LA mayor issues a new warning to voters.
Kanye West has an open invitation to visit Holocaust Museum LA, but so far he's a no-show. Coming up, experts tell us why his recent comments about Jewish people are not only hurtful, they're dangerous.
And temperatures getting a whole lot cooler across Southern California. Will the wind persist, though? I'll have all the details in my forecast next.
And COVID treatment lawsuits. 2 local hospitals accused of prescribing a high-risk drug without warning about the side effects. 2 men died following those treatments. Good evening, everyone. I'm Pat Harvey.
And I'm Juan Fernandez. With
just 2 weeks to go before Election Day and mail-in voting already underway, the candidates for LA mayor are intensifying their attacks.
In fact, billionaire Rick Caruso is now spending tens of millions of dollars to blanket the airwaves in the home stretch. Kcal 9 political reporter Tom Wade is here now with the very latest for us. Tom?
You know, one of the questions some folks are asking, political experts and others, is can the money help but also sort of backfire? And I guess we'll just have to wait and see, right?
Twofold.
Yeah, twofold. All right, so when it comes to money, this race isn't even remotely close. Billionaire Rick Caruso is blowing Congresswoman Karen Bass out of the water when we're talking about campaign spending. But Bass says Caruso did the same thing in the primary, and she still came out on top.
We cannot let Rick Caruso con the voters of Los Angeles on homelessness.
Congresswoman Karen Bass sharpening her attacks on her opponent, developer Rick Caruso. Bass on the campaign trail with carpenters promoting her plan to combat the homeless crisis.
My opponent is a real estate developer who touts his history of building, but he's never found the time or the will to build one single unit of affordable housing.
Viva Boyle Heights!
Caruso was also out pounding the pavement for votes. He was in Boyle Heights, where his grandparents once lived, also on the attack.
I will have no more corruption. We have corruption in our city, and it has to go. And our system is broken, and Karen Bass cannot fix it. She'll just make more of Eric Garcetti. It's going to be worse. We've had enough. We've had enough.
The billionaire developer is unleashing his massive financial war chest, spending tens of millions of dollars in advertising here in the closing weeks.
I'm spending my own money because I don't want to be beholden to anybody other than Angelenos.
Money doesn't do everything. He outspent me 8-1 in the primary as well, and we came out ahead. My campaign is based on grassroots involvement, is based on years of experience of bringing our city together, and this is such an important time where our city could fracture around racial lines. My history of building coalitions and amassing support, I think, is very different than his. You can't buy everything.
A poll last week showed Caruso with a slight lead, but within the margin of error. So where does the race stand now? Political analyst and Loyola law professor Jessica Levinson.
I think there's no doubt that there's some polling to indicate the race is tightening. And part of that is a result of the fact that Rick Caruso is basically spending unlimited sums. I mean, he really is blanketing some of the most expensive media markets in the country, and that makes a difference.
Professor Levinson says the council member racist recording scandal may end up helping Caruso.
I think with this scandal in City Hall, there are some people that are just kind of disgusted with insiders, with incumbents, and it's probably not fair, but Karen Bass is seen as more of the de facto incumbent in this race.
Both candidates have repeatedly called for the resignations of the council members from that infamous recording. So far, Kevin De Leon has said he intends to stay on. We haven't heard from Councilman Gil Cedillo, but his term is over in December. Remember, he lost in the primary back in June. So
Yeah, to Eunices.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so we'll see.
All right.
Tom, thanks so much. And you'll have until midnight to register to vote in the upcoming election. If you missed tonight's deadline, you can still register in person at a vote center or county elections office up until Election Day. You will have to cast a conditional ballot that won't be counted until your voter registration has been verified.
Embattled LA Councilman Kevin De Leon will not be excused from meetings. That's coming from Council President Paul Kerkorian, who responded to a written request from De Leon asking